I have no silver, no diamonds or gold, but I am far richer by the visions I hold. 'Cause I've seen the mountains and I've seen the sea. I've seen all that beauty and lived a life that was free. When the cool autumn moonlight shines down through the trees, no place under heaven would I rather be, where the wild birds are flying and the caribou roam. Many places I've rambled, but this is my home. And when I am weary and it's time to rest, please take this old body to the place I love best, somewhere on that mountain. Turn my face to the sea and let the wind in the treetops sing me to sleep. 'Cause I've seen those mountains, I've been to the sea, and all of that beauty is like heaven to me. Where the wild birds are flying and the caribou roam. Many places I've rambled, but this is my home, where the wild birds are flying and the caribou roam. Many places I've rambled, but this is my home.
Good evening and welcome to This Week in Review. Tonight in our stories we have Fireman's Ball, work at the Calder Healthcare Centre, the Cadets ACR, Town Council report, John Cosser and Jim Dory. Please stay tuned for these stories after this. Try your luck on Wednesday and play TV Bingo, sponsored by the Rec Commission. Cards are $6 for $5 and can be bought from any member of the Rec Commission and in most stores around town. This is a 50-50 bingo. The Burgeo Fire Department held its 38th annual Fireman's Ball on Saturday. It began with a hot roast beef supper. Ross Ann was the MC for the evening. There were various guest speakers. Presentations were presented throughout the night. Awards were given for attendance and years of service. A new award was presented, Rookie of the Year. This year it was presented to Todd Dominy. The Fireman of the Year award this year was presented to Terry McDonald, which received a standing ovation on receipt of this reward. Congratulations to all the firemen for their continued success.
This award here is an award that we've passed out over the past, since what, 1995. Since 1995, we've presented this award to a firefighter who we felt very dedicated to the fire department. And last year in June, I got a phone call saying that one of our firefighters was in very bad shape. And as you all know by the name, we all know it was Terry. Terry had a very rough road ahead of him, and hopefully God that he would come back. But Terry's main concern with the fire department was when he used to call home, or like give him a call or talk to him, tell the boys I think about them and I wonder can I come back to the fire hall when I come to Burgeo. So Terry, on behalf of the firefighters of this fire department in the town of Burgeo, I'd like for you to come forward and pick up this award on behalf of the fire department. Come forward, Terry.
A truck with a large crane on it had been seen up near the Calder Health Care Center. It turns out they are removing the old air conditioning system and replacing it with a new one. The crane is needed to lift the old equipment off the roof and to put the new back. RCSCC 157 Bob Bartlett held their 55th annual ceremonial reviews on Wednesday. The ship's routine took place in the gym of Burgeo Academy. Lieutenant Commander Gerald W. Artley was the reviewing officer. Jeanette Tucker was the MC for the evening. The cadets' demonstrations then took place and awards were presented.
Okay, so successful recipient for the year 2011-2012 for the World Canadian Legion Medal of Excellence is Chief Petty Officer First Class Kate Spencer. The recipient for the 2011-2012 Lord Strathcona Medal is Chief Petty Officer Second Class Jerry McDonald.
The evening continued with a sit-down supper of cold plate and dessert, and other awards were presented. This year, there are 8 cadets graduating and 1 more moving. Congratulations to all the cadets who received awards. The Sand and Sea Committee would like to host Miss Newfoundland and Labrador during the Sand and Sea Festival this year. In order to do so, they need a ballot for her and also 2 to 3 people to form a committee to help plan a schedule of events for her on Thursday and Friday of the festival. If you would like to help out or be a part of the committee, call Gord Hingram at 886-7574 or 886-2259. Mayor Drew McDowell gave his town council report.
Due to work commitments, it's the earliest time I could get to get this report on. First of all, on the agenda is the water treatment plant again. On May the 28th, the FAA construction and the engineers were in and went through the water treatment plant, and everything at the plant is working good. There were a couple of minor problems which has to be resolved, but in general, I guess the plant is up and operating well. Now, I do know that people have been getting dirty water in the community. This is not coming from the plant. This is the biofilm that's coming out the pipes going through the town, and it's going to take some time for this to be resolved. And we're hoping next week that we can do a complete flush of the system. And of course, when we start doing that, you're certainly going to pick up more of this biofilm, and of course low pressure as well. So we asked if you could bear with us till we get the lines all flushed and see what happens after that in regards to clean water. I know it's been a long struggle, and I'm just as frustrated with it as you are, and we'll try our best to get this water clean in the future. Bonnie Cole James will be attending our next council meeting to give our council an update on how they done with the town's books this year. So hopefully we'll get a good report card like we did last year. We'll keep you updated on that. Building committee, permission was given to construct 4 sheds in the community, and permission was also given to construct 2 extensions to dwellings. Correspondence, there were 24 items of correspondence dealt with at our May 16th meeting, and a request from a couple to purchase a parcel of land from council to construct a dwelling. Also, the spring cleanup took place, and the town collected 10 vehicles that were taken to the old car dump, and there were also 108 pickup truckloads of garbage. So that's a lot of garbage taken in those 2 weeks and carried into the garbage dump. And at this time I want to thank the Beers and the Guide movement for cleaning up around the community streets, and their leaders, and of course the general public who got out and participated in cleanup anywhere in the community. And I did notice that Mr. Joe Coster in the Reach area there and Mr. Malcolm Batcher had a couple of cleanups in there. They collected a lot of garbage as well. So this is greatly appreciated by your town. And anyone who sees garbage around, take a few minutes to pick it up, and that way we'll keep our town clean all year round. Thank you very much once again for cleaning up your community. Invite to graduation 2012. I attended that graduation and it went well, and I gotta say that the graduates certainly is going to be missed come September. Those people were deeply involved in the community through volunteer work and sea cadets and all of this type of thing, and they're certainly going to be missed. So I want to wish them well in their future endeavors wherever they go. Congratulations on behalf of the town. Fireman's Ball. The Farmer's Ball took place last Saturday night. Great time had by Hull. It was the 49th annual Fireman's Ball held in the community. And I want to say our firefighters do great work in the community, and we want to thank them for that once again, and congratulations on your 49th anniversary. The RCSCC Bob Bartlett, Councillor Laurie Porter attended that function. And on behalf of the town, I want to thank Laurie for taking that on. And I want to say congratulations to the Sea Cadets who won the awards. And I think that it's the 55 annual ceremonies. And of course, I also want to mention that our Sea Cadet Corps is going to be in need of members because of our students that graduated this year and be moving on in September to finish up with Sea Cadets. And I want to encourage any teenager out there who's to the age to get involved with Sea Cadets to do so, because it's one of the best organizations any student or teenager can get involved with in your community, and you certainly benefit from that. So we got to try to keep our Sea Cadet Corps alive in the community. So I want to encourage anybody out there to get involved, and I think the parents should talk to their teenagers and ask them to get involved there to keep this going, because the Sea Cadets over the years has been front and center in this community on parades and anything important or special events like the 11th of November, those things that Sea Cadets are front and center in the community, and we certainly don't want to lose that, because they will be certainly missed if this happens. So think about it and contact your leaders, the Sea Cadet leaders, and sign up for September. Thank you very much. A request for donations from the 157 RCSCC Bob Bartlett Sea Cadet Corps was granted. A standard donation of $25 was approved there. And a request from the youth venture for waiver of permit fees. That's a standard, and that was approved as well. That's for any student who wants to start a little business during the summertime and make a few dollars towards their education. So that was approved as well, and good luck with that. Invitation from Virgil Academy to help with the PBIS Day. Now, that won't be till September the 7th, but a representative from council will take part on that day with Virgil Academy. And our physically challenged, I want to thank Mr. Aidan and Ann Brown for their volunteer work with our physically challenged once again in the community. I see they've had several events, several evenings there now with them, and they seem to enjoy it to the fullest. And Ann and Aidan has certainly volunteered, and free of charge, the music and stuff like that. So it's greatly appreciated what you people are doing for our physically challenged in the community. And once again, on behalf of the town, I want to thank you and keep up the good work, Ann and Aidan. I also want to thank Mr. Travis Dunbard. Mr. Travis Dunbard had a heating for a physically challenged at the Far Hall, and also our seniors were invited as well. And that was a heating enjoyed by all. And I want to thank Travis for that, and keep up the good work, Travis. It's well appreciated by everyone. Thank you very much. Hometown performer John Coster performed last night, Thursday night, along with Jim Dory from New Glasgow, Nova Scotia. And I thought that was a well worthwhile concert. I attended that and enjoyed every moment of it to listen to those two gentlemen sing. And I certainly want to wish them well with their future concerts. And I want to say to Mr. John Coster, don't stay away as long this time. Come back and give us another performance, and we certainly enjoyed it. Thank you very much, John. The invoices were approved for payment in the amount of $17,948.42 at an A16 meeting. Our next scheduled council meeting is scheduled for June the 20th. Thank you very much for listening. Good night, and may God bless.
BBS is looking for volunteers, teenage and adults. If you are a mature and responsible teenager or adult and would like to get involved, please call Maxine at 886-2935 during office hours. We would love to have you join our team. Mr. John Coster and Mr. Jim Dory came by the studio to have a chat with us. Good evening. With me tonight I have John Coster and Jim Dory, who have been on a tour called the Bells and Barnacles. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening. Good evening.
And welcome to our studios.
Thank you very much. Nice to be here.
I'm glad you could make it. So, you've been doing this tour. Where have you been going to?
We started in Prince Edward Island. Our first date was on the 4th of May in a town called Hunter River, PEI.
Okay.
And from there to Nova Scotia for 5 or 6 shows, and then we come over to Newfoundland, we landed in St. John's, flew over, rented a car there, and have been all across the island.
Okay, perfect. So how did you two guys meet?
I think it was a long-winded story, but my girlfriend took me out to the Topsail Breeze Cafe, I think it is, bar, restaurant out there, for breakfast one morning, against my will. It just said I didn't want to go for breakfast, but she took me out of town, so I was sort of teasing her about it. We went in, and I met the lady. The reason we went out there, but she said the food was extremely good, and that the person running it was a really nice person, and she wanted me to meet her, and so I did. There was another motive. She wanted me to meet her so I could get to play out there. And so that was kind of in the works when his daughter came to my CD release, and she bought my CD and sent it to him. That's part of it. He met my manager, or my manager contacted them, and it turns out that he's related to the people that run the Topsail Breeze, and so it's sort of hooked together, and said, well, why don't I go over to Nova Scotia and do some gigs with you, and you come back here with me, and we'll do some, and that's what we call ballads and barnacles, and I'm afraid it's my turn to be the barnacle now, because when I was in Nova Scotia, I would open for him, and I could always say I'm the ballad, obviously, and he's the barnacle, and now I'm getting a taste of my own medicine, but that's what we're doing, and that's how we met.
Oh, very good. So, how long do you plan on being on tour?
Basically just under 6 weeks. We started the 1st of May, and we're done 10th or 11th of June. Our last show is in a place called St. George's, just outside of St. John's.
Okay.
And we're playing at the B&B here tonight.
Okay.
Actually, that's one of the things we're looking forward to. We were in the room yesterday and looked around. It's a gorgeous space to be playing, and so anybody wondering about whether or not they can see us, we played last night, and a full house pretty much, and really, really fun time for us both, and for me in particular, because it's been a long time since I've been here, and this is where I was born, and it's good to be back here. The place is gorgeous, by the way. It's been around seeing as much as possible, meeting old friends, but we had a really good show last night, and we're open to pull off another one like that at the B&B tonight, and if anybody's looking to have some fun and be entertained close up, we're not that scary, I don't think. We're having such a ball. We'd love to have people come out and see what we do, listen to what we do.
Have you noticed much changes since you've been back, John?
For one thing, it's obvious that there's a sense of community pride here, because when I left, it was quite a while ago, and roads were being, there was fresh blasting, and everything looked a little rugged around the edges, but that was a long time ago, and it's grown over, and it's been beautified by everybody. Houses are done up, and the roads are done. It's just a gorgeous place to come into, and I can't tell you how impressed I was with the Sandbanks, because I brought my girlfriend home to show her that in particular, because I'm proud to be from here, and I wanted her to see it. So we went up, and it was just like a movie. I mean, the sun came out, the wind dropped off, just gentle tide on the shore. It was just amazing. And so every time I come down around here, I think, wow, I wish everybody else could see it. And I guess there's some advantages in not having people know that you got that kind of beauty and it's in your backyard. But boy, it's something to be shared. And I wish I saw a picture at the entrance to Virgil. So, because that's something spectacular, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And I think only, you just stick it there, people would stop and look at it, and that's it. Oh, I think I'm going down there. But it's a very well-kept secret still.
Yes,
I'm
it is.
surprised. But obviously a lot of people do like it because it's being used. But
Yes.
boy, a lot of people would come here if they knew that.
Yes. So are you living in St. John's now?
I've accidentally moved to Bell Island. My girlfriend is living there, so I currently don't have an apartment. So I guess that's where I'm going to end up when I go back. Because other than that, I'm homeless.
Okay, very good. So Jim, you are from New Glasgow?
Yes. I was born and brought up in that area in a town nearby. It's only about 5 miles away. There's a cluster of 5 towns there that in olden times were separated by horse and wagon roads, basically, but they're not that far apart, and as time progressed, they've sort of grown together, but they still maintain their own independence. So I was born in a town called Westville, and it's about 5 miles from New Glasgow, where I'm currently living. My mom's from Stellarton, which is another town in the same cluster. It's Pictou County. It was originally settled in the 1770s by a Scottish ship called the Hector.
Okay.
So there's a lot of Scottish names there. But my origins are French on my father's side, because the French and English contested the New World for a number of years. You know,
Yes.
you've heard of Fortress at Louisbourg,
Yes.
Grand Pré, and some of those places. So there's French in Nova Scotia as well as Scottish.
Okay.
But I was away for 37 years. I worked 7 years in Ontario and another 30 in Alberta, and raised my family. We have 3 kids. They all grew up out west.
Okay.
And it was only after retiring that I moved back.
So is this your first time to Burgeo?
First time to Burgeo. It's my 3rd time to Newfoundland. When we retired, our middle child, a daughter, she was living with us at home. She had done her university and traveled Europe a bit, and she was back home for about 6 or 7 months. And when we told her that we were heading east, I just suggested to her, I said, you've never lived down east, you might want to come down here and take a look. So she basically followed us down here, and she worked for St. Francis Xavier University in Antigonish for 1 semester. Somebody that had taken some kind of a term leave. I'm not sure if it was maternity or just a sabbatical. I think it was a sabbatical. And she liked the eastern area. So she came over to Memorial, and she did a music BEd at MUN, and fell in love with St. John's, and she's been there ever since. I think she's been there 4 years now. She teaches us at a francophone school called École des Grands Vents. It's up Ridge Road, I think, up toward the airport. She
Okay.
loves it.
Oh, very good. So how long do you guys plan on staying in Burgeo?
We're leaving tomorrow, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're playing tomorrow late in the afternoon
In Kippens.
in Kippens,
Okay.
And the Legion
and then Gander, and then sort of we're on the way back to St. John's now. We've been right to the end of the road out at Rose Blanche, and
Oh.
sort of are working our way back across.
Bit
Yeah,
of Gay in the ship in St. John's,
and out in Topsail Breeze, and then out in
Topsail
St. George's Cathedral.
this has been such a fun ride with this fellow. Our stories are vaguely similar, like we're coming back into it at a older time, you know. But we're very similar in some respects, and very different in others too. But we've had a ball. We've been laughing the whole way. I mean, seriously laughing.
Yeah.
That it's hard to believe that 2 grown men could be so entertained by fart jokes.
So how long have you guys been into music?
I've always listened to music, but I never really had time to do any of my own or write any of my own, because when you're raising a family, you know, and working full time, the kids have extracurricular activities, and you're always going to driving them to scouts or Girl Guides or dance classes or whatever, and you know, those things don't end till 9:30 or 10 o'clock
Well,
at night.
exactly.
So it was actually after I retired that I fell into this. It was something that I had in the back of my head that I'd like to try at some point in time, and I only wanted to do it for my own satisfaction, just to see if I could do it. I never really expected that people were actually going to like it, and I was, you know, that I was going to record a CD, and then having done the first one, never thought I'd ever do a second one. So it's all still a big surprise that it's actually happening, and that, you know, we're on the first tour as an emerging artist at, you know, over 60. It's kind of a, and the 2 of us are in the same boat. We both worked full work years and have started writing later in life. So it's a...
Yeah, not just a late, but a full and a
Yeah.
rough one in
Yeah.
places. So
So
we're
it's-
similar, and we don't waste time with BS. You know, if you live so long and you've seen enough, you just get to a point where you're quite secure with yourself and just doing what you need to be doing. We're both doing the same thing. So we're having a lot of fun.
And I think having
With the
some,
right attitude,
yeah,
yeah.
I think having some life experience on both our parts has helped with the writing, because you know you actually have some things to write about.
Yes.
It's like,
Yeah. Like this for me, I was just at my brother Joe's, and he suddenly walked out and gave me this hat. This hat belonged to my father, and I didn't know he had it. I didn't ask for it. He just came up and said, "You can have this." And the reason that that will be special to me is, in my lifetime, my father didn't do music. He didn't make music or anything, but he wrote. And he wrote stories for the Lamplighter newspaper.
Okay.
And he wrote poems and things like that. And one day, I wasn't aware of what he was doing, but one day he got a package in the mail, and that package was a recording of a song that he had sent away to get somebody else to sing. The fact is, he wrote the song, and it was back in maybe the 60s. And he wrote the song and thought enough of it to send it away and get it come back with some other singer singing it. And I remembered most of it, but I don't remember all of it. But I just was talking to somebody the other day who actually has the record, so now I know I will learn it. But the fact is, he never got to do that. And to have this on my head is a connection. It's like it fits very well.
you're fulfilling your father's dream.
And very much I felt that I'm doing what he never got to do, and I'm totally shocked and humbled by that.
Yes.
And so there's this, I'm sitting there awed by this. It's on my head. I just put it there about half an hour ago, and it hasn't come off of it since. It's likely I'm going to sleep with it. But it's a little creepy and but really a very nice thing. There's something very powerful about it.
Yeah.
I'm getting to do what he actually needed to do, and he may have died unhappy about that. So this is a very, it's a great thing. It's a really nice thing.
Yes, that sound nice. So if somebody wanted to buy your CDs, where would you be able to avail of them to?
We both have a box load of them with us. Mine are in local stores around my hometown. I'm going to drop some off at Fred's in St. John's. They have my first CD when we get back to the city. But everything that I do is online, so if anybody that's computer connected can go to iTunes and search my name, and they're there, or off my website. John sells off his website.
Yeah,
and
mine
Fred's.
are on iTunes as well. As for getting them, I have CDs on me now. I have quite a few that I'm carrying with me because I can't go back and get them. So
we're
if anybody
selling
wants
them
to
at
get
the
them, they
gigs.
get it from me, but they can also get it from Pro Hardware, selling them.
Okay.
You can get it from Fred's Records. You can get it from all fine stores that sell great music. Anyway, the general place, they're not everywhere, but they're getting there. But you can download it and use as well.
Okay, perfect. So are you guys going to give me a taste of your fine music now in a minute for me?
We can do, sure. Yeah,
Okay.
I think we have guitars with us, so if you want to hear a tune, we can play a tune or two.
Okay, that'll be perfect.
I'll start with a song. It's about my grandfather. I spend a lot of time talking to my mom and dad because I was away from home for 37 years and I missed a lot. I never met my grandfather. He died a year before I was born. But him and my father had a fairly special relationship. He's one of the few kids that my dad is one of the few kids that actually got a nickname from his father. My grandfather's name was Charlie. This is his song. He was a miner and he walked to work every day, worked 4 to 12, and walked past the school that his kids attended and always had a little pull at his heartstrings when he walked by there because he never spent enough time around them, and I think he often regretted that. This is called Charlie. It goes like this. Charlie walks down Diamond Street around 3 or thereabout. He'd be past the Chelsea school before his kids got out. He'd turn right at Crockett's corner, he'd walk up through South Main, take a left on the Drummond Road, he's off to work again. Charlie sits the rod and rake his lunch can by his feet. Most afternoons those tram car wheels, they'd lull him off to sleep. He'd awake in total darkness, his lamp the only light. Slave with a pick and shovel till the signal at midnight. 6 boys and 3 girls were born in their little house. Bernie never lived too long, the others all got out. They called my father Chappie, his dad's pet name for him. Every time he tells me that, it always makes me grin. Charlie walks out past the trapper at the end of his long day. He works the ventilation doors that keep the gas at bay, while the ponies pull the full tram cars from the face out to the lift. He'll catch a ride back to Topside here, and that's another shift. 6 boys and 3 girls were born in their little house. Bernie didn't live too long, the others all got out. They called my father Chappie, his dad's pet name for him. And every time he tells me that, it always makes me grin. Quick trip through the wash house and cross to Campbell's Lane. There's a load of rum due in tonight off Hoyt Street, so they're saying. And they'll fill his flask as he goes past, they've done it lots before. Up the tracks and cross the path, and Charlie's home once more. 6 boys and 3 girls were born in their little house. Bernie didn't live too long, the others all got out. They called my father Chappie, it was his dad's pet name for him. Every time he tells me that, it always makes me grin. 'Cause he says it oh so wistfully, it always makes me grin.
Runaway Train. I wrote this thing because back in 1985 my daughter was born, and the trains were still on in St. John's, and I would watch them leaving town, and every time they left town they would have to blow because they were going across the street in Mount Pearl, and they would have to warn people driving cars, and so we got the picture perfect view of the train as it went by. And I would hold her up, she was maybe 1 year old at the time. And so I would hold her up, and we would count the cars. She partially learned how to count from that. It was one of my nicest memories. And the fact is that they took off the train, and one day I realized that I had missed the train completely. I was never going to ride it again around here, and I missed the train. The fact that there were trains. And so I wrote this song on the strength of the pun. feeling in my soul when I heard that lonesome whistle blow. Oh, the train is gone, but the ache remains. Ever since then I've been missing that train. Yeah, I've always been missing that train. Ain't it just like life to be just like that? A runaway train on a crazy track. Well, I've had enough of what I like. Got a one-way ticket and I won't be back. Get out of my way, runaway train. Stay out of my way, runaway train. I found that once upon a time, just what's meant by love is blind. And the tears of rain still stain my face, and I'm running away like a runaway train. Like a runaway train. Get out of my way, runaway train. Stay out of my way, I'm a runaway train. My life has been a waste of time, a waste of yours and a waste of mine. May as well enjoy the ride. You can't fast forward, you can't rewind. 'Cause after all, it's a crazy ride. Like a runaway train. Like a runaway train. Like a runaway train. Like a runaway train.
This concludes our program for tonight. Thank you for watching. Good night.